Hi and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Nzangi from QuantBuild.co.ke. In this video tutorial, I want to show you how to create a structural grid and place columns which are our structural members. And this video is part of Multistory house modeling in ArchiCAD, a series that I started some times back. And one of my subscribers asked me if I could redo it because the very first videos had some problem with the background noise. And now that I've gotten a better audio device for recording, I decided that now it's the right time to redo it, and that's why I'm doing this video. So what I want us to do is create a new project. From here, I'm using ArchiCAD 24, so I'll go to File, New, and click on Create New Project. It's taking some time to load. So as you can see, I'll go ahead and click New. Then I'll wait for ArchiCAD to create a new project for me, and this new project will be a blank project based on a ArchiCAD 24 template. Then from there, we'll be able now to get into working on the project. So already we have a new project created. We have a big white screen at the center, which is going to be our working space. And in this working space is where we are going to start drawing or start creating our project. So what I want us to do is delete these view lines that we have by selecting them, right click, go to delete, and delete the views because I am not intending to use them. The next thing is go to options and set some preferences for working units. I'm okay with millimeters and square meters. Let's check whether the dimensions are okay. So here I will use plain millimeter. So when that is set, the very next thing that we are going to do is now start working. And I usually love working in this space when we have the grids, the grid view, construction grid view. So what I'll do is I'll go up here under view, then I'll click to activate construction grid display, and you will see these grid lines start appearing. So number one is we will place the grids. These are structural grids. And I had a question from one of my fans asking me what factor I consider when I am placing these structural grids. And the answer is I'm looking at where we have at the line where I'm going to place my columns. We have intersections between walls. That is where I'm going to have my structural members. Basically, where these lines intersect, that is where we have the center for the columns. So I'll begin by going to document up here. I think under the documenting tools, I will use the ones the ones that are here. Under documenting tools, if you move down, you'll be able to find this grid element tool. So click on the grid element tool to activate it, and then go to the settings dialog here. When you click on that, you have the grid element default settings now open, and the first setting is about floor plan, and this is how you want your lines to appear on the floor plan. So for the line type here, I want to use an hidden line, and for the pen I will use number 44. That is okay with me. Where do you want to show? I want to show these lines on the home story only. Is that okay? I think I put, let's say, home story only. And then for the markers, I want the line to be plain. Don't want to have any markers. That's set for floor plan settings. So we go down to section and elevation settings, and I still want to put the same settings as on the floor plan. So for the line, I'll go also choose hidden line, this option, and I will have the pen as number 44. The naming rules are not going to apply because I removed the markers. So the only thing here is 3D view options, and for me, I don't want to display these grids in 3D view, so I will uncheck this box so that these grids do not appear when I navigate to the 3D window. So after setting that, you click OK. Those settings have been applied, and now I'll start by placing the first grid. You can place them anywhere. Like for me, I choose to start with this point, so I'll click on this point and I'll move downwards to, let's say, I will have this as 16 meters. So this is my first grid, vertical grid, and they are spaced at 3.5 meters, the first 3. So I will hold the shift button down, then click on that on that grid line to select it. Then I will move a copy, that is drag a copy of this for 3500 millimeters, and the next is move, drag a copy for 3.5 meters. The next from there is spaced at 2.5, so I'll move this 2.5 meters, and the other two are spaced at 3.5. I will have that, and the last one at 3.5 meters. So we are done with placing our vertical grids. So the next option is for the horizontal grids. I'll start with the first one from this point to this point. Then I'll select it and move a copy of that by 3 meters, 3000 millimeters, and the next by 3000 millimeters. Then the one between, the next one is spaced at 1.8 meters, which is 1800 millimeters, with the next one spaced at 3 meters. So I drag a copy of this for 3 meters. So that is it. That is the grid. I want to adjust this by making them smaller. Just click on it, drag up to where you want to place it, then click to resize. So as you can see on my screen, those are the grids that I have created using the grid element tool, which is under documenting tool when you navigate to the very left side of your screen. So these grids, as I told you, are going to give me the positions of my columns. So I'll start by activating the column tool by going up there under design. Then I'll choose architectural elements, and under architectural elements or architectural tools, we have this one, the column tool. So it's now selected and active. Then I'll go now to the settings dialog for the column tool. I'll be able to, under column options here, I will be able to specify the cross section of my column. So I want it to be 200 by 200 millimeters, and this is the height which is linked to the top, to the story. If you can see here, we have a top link as story number 1, of course, which is my upper floor. So that's okay for now. Then I'll click on OK, and I'll place the first column here. So you see those intersections that we have. That is where I'm placing my first column. The next one will be on that intersection. There'll be another one here, another one here, another one here, and another one here. And we have now this line towards to the left. Here we have a column, we have another column here, we have another column here, we have a column and a column, we have a column here and another one. Basically, where we have these intersections, so just follow what I am doing, then you will be able to come up with the very exact thing that I am going to create, because these columns are going to now dictate where I am going to put my walls. So that is how I am placing these columns. And these ones here, I will select them, and then go to the settings dialog and change. What I'm going to change is the segment. Let me see. Yeah, the segment. Under segment, we have structure of these, and I will use a circular structure. Click OK. So when you look at it on plan, you see there is a change. We have this as a circular column. This is a square cross section. So that having been done, we go to the next option, which is changing how these columns look on plan. So with my column tool active, I will use Ctrl A on my keyboard to select all columns. Then I'll go to the settings dialog for the columns, and I'll navigate up to where we have floor plan and section. I want to change the color of this preview so that when I am printing, it appears different on paper. So the very first option here is to check under cut surfaces, we have options for override cut fill pens. Here is set as none. I want to override all surfaces, so I'll choose both. Then I will have the foreground pen as number 1, and then the cut fill background pen as also number 1. You see we are having some changes. And I also go down here, we have an cut line pen, and the next is the hidden line. Let me check them as dark. We have a column cross line pen. I want that to remain as it is. We have a cover fill pen, this to be dark, and this also. I think the very first one, that changes everything. Then I will click OK. When you get back, you will see where we have our columns. This is how they appear on plan. So that's what I wanted us to achieve. And before we end the video, I want to show you how to name these grids. So what we'll do is select them. So I select this, the vertical ones, and I go to the settings dialog for the columns, for the grid element, and under floor plan, activate floor plan settings. We have options for markers. So I'll tap to have one at the start and one at the end. That's for demonstrating to you how to name them. Then we go to the naming rules. We have it as custom and click OK. So with this, you can see the markers have been established. So what I want to do is I want to name this as my grid number 1. So I will go back and call it 01. When I click OK, you will see this one changing and the bottom one changing too. Then I will get to the next one, do the same, change to 02. The next also 03. We have 04, naming, that's grid number 4 vertical, and this is grid number 5 vertical. And this is our last grid under the vertical grid options. So this naming now makes it easier for us if we want to refer to a given column. So let's say we also name this. I will select them, use Control T or just Control T, yeah, or go to this place where we have the settings dialog. Click on that, activate the markers. Then you can be able now to click on OK. You can be able to give these numbers. Let's say I call this column, I call this A, capital A. The next one will be B, of course. So I'll have this as C, set as C. I will have the next as D, and the last one as E. So that's set. I have an unwanted column here, I delete that. So what I was trying to achieve with the numbering is for us to be able to give a clear reference. So let's say if I am referring to this column here, I can be able to refer it using this marks for the grids. So I will call this column, the location is 0, 1A. So if I say 0, 1A, when you move this way and this way, the very first column at that intersection is this. So let's say we have this column here. We want to give someone a direction into, this is the column that I want you to do some changes to. We'll call it column 03C. So you see, with the grid, we are now able to name our columns and to make good reference to our structural members. So I want to just take you to the 3D view so that you can be able to see what we've done in 3D. So that's it. This is the 3D view. The very thing that you can see right now is the columns that we've placed on the grid. So when we continue working on the project, you'll be able now to see the things that we put in place and how they look. So that's how to create a structural grid in ArchiCAD 24. I hope you've learned something. I hope this video has been helpful to you. So if you like it, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you, and see you in the next video. Cheers.